Okay, so I'm joined by manager Paul Jones. Paul, the news this week, obviously, that you are staying with the club next season. It has been a tough end to the season. You've admitted that in a lot of your post-match interviews lately. So what were them discussions like, and what are your thoughts on that, and how do you feel?
Yeah, I think there's three factors really. First is, did the players believe in what we were doing and back me, I guess, and back what we're trying to do? Like, there's no point having a manager where the players aren't working and wanting to run for you, and it was clear that they wanted me to go again. Then it's, do I have the energy and will to go again? And after 6 years now of like doing a lot of work every week for the football club, you know, I had a realisation that I really did want to go again. And then it's, do I feel like I can add to the group and add value and keep pushing them forward? And I think I can. I think the coaches that we work with can. And then ultimately it's down to the board and whether they wish to give myself and the players the opportunity to keep working together. And you know, I'm glad to say they wanted that to happen as well. So you know, when you've got all three aligned, then as a manager you're in a good place, aren't you? Hopefully for next season. You know, we're not under contract. We're volunteers. Like. You know, it wasn't that a contract was coming to an end. It's just an appropriate thing to do to reassess things at the end of every season, but certainly after this season in the way that we've kind of tailed off. We just needed to figure out whether it was the right thing to keep going or not. And certainly myself, the coaches and the players believe it is. And I'm glad to say that the board have come to that conclusion as well.
And obviously tonight we see the end of three people with FC Isle of Man, three players. Captain Shawn Doyle obviously going. I think it's right we do this individually about the players, to be perfectly honest. So first one's going to be Shawn. Yeah. What are your thoughts on Shawn leaving? Obviously, how did you feel when he approached you about that?
Yeah, I was disappointed, but not surprised. You know, Shawn has been kind of almost the face of the club, hasn't he, in many ways in terms of the team since that first season and scoring 40 plus goals. You know, he kicked into gear halfway through the season and just couldn't stop scoring, which was incredible. And you know, I think the last three seasons we probably not had Shawn on the pitch enough. You know, injured for the second season, and then the last 2 years he's been in and out with injury and work commitments. And you know, he clearly can score goals at this level of football. He's our top goal scorer again this season, having not played as many minutes as anyone would have liked to. So I was obviously very disappointed to hear that he'd decided to call it time. We had a good chat about it. You know, as I said to him, you know, he's made his mind up for the reasons he's got, which are largely around personal work commitments. And, you know, once someone's made that decision, you know, it's not, I can't like make certain promises that I can't deliver in order to try and keep them. And ultimately everybody gets disappointed. So, you know, I respect what he's done for the club. He's been a different class to work with, really enjoyed it. He's been a key part of the group, but, you know, we wish him every success in work and life. And, you know, maybe at some point he might get down on one knee for Laura. So
that hint, is it? That hint. One man that has been down on one knee and he's getting married this summer, that's also leaving us, is Jack McVey, another one who's been with us since the start. Just a few words about Jack. Yeah,
Jack is. I hope everyone sees what a good footballer he is, because he's unbelievable. He's one of the best footballers I think the Isle of Man has ever had, in terms of how he reads a game, the way he dictates play. In and out of possession, his passing is second to none. Been a big part of the group for the last 4 years, and he'll be a big miss. What maybe a lot of people don't realise is that Jack is often playing after doing a night shift at work. You know, he'll do a night shift, come straight to the boat or come straight to an away game, a flight, and then have a couple of hours sleep on the coach as we're travelling, and then play a game of football where he's one of the better players on the pitch, and then try and get his head down before going back in for another night shift. I have no idea how he's managed to keep doing it for so long. And I've said that to him for a while now, but he's been brilliant for all of us, brilliant for the group. Again, I'm not surprised. You know, another year would be a bit of a stretch for him, I think. But, you know, he's made a big impact like Shawn has on this football club in such a short space of time. And they'll both be really missed. And finally, obviously, Ronan as well. You know, he's not been with us as long as the others, but an impact that he's had on the club as well. What, just a few words? Yeah, Rose kind of one of the unsung heroes, I think. Maybe he doesn't get the headlines and the plaudits of some of the others, but he's very much a team player, very much somebody who will do what's required and play in positions that maybe aren't his favourite positions all of the time, but always give 100%. You know you're going to get a 7, 8 out of 10 from Ronan no matter where he plays on the pitch. he sustained a horrendous injury in the second season with fractured jaw and cheek, and it took him a while to get some confidence again to play at the levels we know he's capable of. And again, I've had a sit down with Ro and understand his reasons, and it's a real shame for everybody, but I respect him as I respect all of them, and once they make their decisions, then we have to help them transition away from the club as well as we possibly can. But he's been a big part of the group, and another one we'll miss going into next year.
And finally, I've left the best to last. Craig Cowan. Craig's obviously, the work Craig does behind the scenes it goes unnoticed a lot of the time. Some of the stuff he does, a lot of the stuff he does. Just some words on Craig and how important he's been to you as a manager and his link with the players and things like that as well.
Yeah, Craig's, I think it was Frank, well I know it was Frank that introduced us in that first season when we were looking for a kit man, and it's a really key role in terms of that link between the staff and the players to make sure that they know their place in the best possible way, but they can have a really good relationship with the group and keep things ticking along as we need to. And he's certainly done that. He's been different class since he's come into the group, and he's taken on more and more responsibility as the years have gone by, around travel stuff and kit and various other bits and pieces that we don't necessarily need to go into, including covering Andy Varnum at times last season. So yeah, he's a big personality. He's a lovely guy to have around. I'll miss seeing his face. I'll miss seeing Ava, quite so much. His daughter who comes to the games. So yeah, he's a big part of the club. But we all move on at some point, whether we like it or not. And they've all made the decision to do that. And then it provides opportunities then for other people to come in and hopefully they can fill the shoes and take their roles on into even better positions in the future. So yeah, he's been brilliant. I'll miss him lots. But as I say, it's an opportunity now for somebody else to come in and add to the club.
And I will just ask you as well, you've seen Craig kicking the ball around here. He says he's going back into local football. How do you think he's going to get on?
I think he'll do well. Yeah, he's been pecking my head for 3 seasons now about trying to get into the team at some point. Always threatens to come down in the training and joins in, but always then bottles it at the last minute or turns up and then doesn't fancy it. So hopefully if he's selected for the St Mary's team next year, he actually puts a shirt on and kicks the ball around. So yeah, I look forward to seeing how he gets on.
All right, cheers Jonesy, thanks for your time.
Cheers.